wait, that wasn't my point, and I didn't say that about what I said. The outcomes of the households of those who are married, the outcomes are better for those who are married versus those who aren't.
Define
That's what
better
I'm saying.
outcomes. What do you call a better outcome? Define it.
Exactly.
What is a better
in
outcome?
terms in
Define that.
terms of the likely, when you're comparing the likelihood of those who are going to when you compare likelihood of not ending up in jail, likelihood of not having drug addiction, likelihood of
Those stats are equal for
suicide,
single fathers.
likelihood
Those stats you're talking about
likelihood
are equal for single fathers. So you're
listen
talking about the results
listen
of children
you
from
asked
marriages.
me
Single
you
father, the rates
asked
are
me
very similar.
I'm telling you
Allow her to
Go ahead.
I'm
respond.
Well,
I'm
hold on.
telling
Let
you.
her finish.
I'm telling you. Okay. So if you want the rebuttal, you could do the rebuttal, but I'm telling you what it is. This is what the stats say. And even to your point, it said it is close. It still says that the outcomes are still higher for those who are married. So even if there's a 10% distance point, it's still higher for marriage.
Is
Period.
it
No.
possible? Is it possible that the perception that the outcomes are better is based off of a societal bias towards marriage? Meaning, is it not possible that people will view outcomes from a marriage as better simply because they have a more favorable attitude towards marriage?
It could be possible. Yeah,
Got
it could be
quiet.
possible,
Her
but
pin
that's
dropped just
still
now.
it still doesn't change the results. The results are the results.
Okay, the results are the results. So let's go further. As for the state, Sweeney picked a certain time period to fit his argument. Per Pew Research status, over 50 some odd, up to 59% of people are cohabitating nowadays. He picked a 20-year time frame where it could be successful, right?
What?
You didn't pick like a 20-year time frame where
Really?
you said the cohabitation would be successful before it fell off the table.
That's not what I said at all.
So that was a question you could easily answer.
Well, I don't even know what question you're asking. I never said
Just
that.
answer. I thought it was plain as English.
No, you're not being clear. But no, I never said
Okay,
that.
I wasn't being clear when I said, didn't you make a statement that it was a 20-year period before cohabitation fell off the table and those relationships no longer worked?
No, I never said that.
Okay, so as for that, since you didn't say it, the majority of people, close to 59% per Pew Research status, are actively living cohabitations wise and not being married. And the numbers are saying that's the success. And they
That's not
don't put a
what
time
it's
cap on
saying.
it.
Yeah, that's
I
not.
could post it in the back chat if you'd like.
Well, no,
That's
I don't
not
think we
what he
disagree
said.
with that stat, but that has nothing to do with what I said.
Okay, so now that adds toward, if it has nothing to do with what you said, let that go. If it don't apply, let it
Okay.
fly.
All right.
It's showing that more people cohabitate rather than marry, and the time frames that they show that these things are successful. They're not showing in the Pew Research findings, statistics wise, where you could easily find right there that these are falling off the table. So I'm trying to figure out, if you didn't say that 20-year time numbers, you said it was unsuccessful. Let's take 20 years out of it. Didn't you say something out about it being unsuccessful long term?
No,
You know I'm gonna clip this, right?
I still don't really know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know. I never.
I know I didn't
No,
say
you said
that, but I
cohabitating.
really
You said
don't.
cohabitating is unsuccessful long term. I think that's what he's talking about.
Yeah,
Oh no, I never said that.
I'm gonna
I
clip
was just
you.
comparing. Okay, so I'm
He
assuming,
was
so I
comparing it
can
to
let
marriage.
me stillman it back to you so I can make sure that I understand what you're saying. What I'm guessing that you're asking me is when I compared the length of marriage, the length of one another. Is that what you're asking?
I posed it as that. You said it's not what I said. I'm not giving you time to refigure it. You said you didn't ask it. We can easily move on with the
Okay.
conversation.
I just want that's why I said I want to reiterate, like, is that what you're asking when I compared the length of marriage to the length of just regular casual relationships? So if that's not what
Cohabitation. You made a statement regarding cohabitation and a time frame where it falls off the table. compared
No,
to
I never
marriage?
made that statement.
Okay, just be ready for the clip.
All right.
All right. Let's see who we had. You got anything you want to add, Hank?
No, I'm gonna let these fellas have it, man. They look like they're having a great debate back and forth, so I'm gonna let them have it.
Okay.
I want to
Appreciate it.
say real quick, JR. I didn't come up here to lambaster marriage, and it seems like that's the same sentiments when you challenge these alleged Bible thumpers and these prince of the algorithms and these Dr. Ecclesiastes that come up here and say all kind of things within these spaces. Stop getting so defensive if you truly believe in it, and stop trying to beat people over the head that's saying that's the end all to be all. You understand? Because your people are like admonishing people, like good people can't find structure. Grown adults can't cohabitate together without a piece of paper
Exactly.
and live successfully. It's just like,
Precisely.
okay, what are we still in that world where we jump the room and Mr. beat you upside the head with a rock? No.
Well, I do want to put this out there too, because I think some people are equating that piece of paper to like officially being marriage. Like I don't think too many, because that's just how the world kind of recognizes it. Like they don't recognize it being just something you come before under God, and then it just be recognized everywhere. So I think people are operating on how the laws are structured, but I don't think that a lot of people necessarily think you need the piece of paper. I think if it was pushed a little bit more, whether you can come up under God and then that's your marriage, I think people would probably do that if they were still able to get things. But I think some people see it as being as an incentive, or some people don't even look at the piece of paper as a hindrance to having a successful marriage, because once they lock in, they just locked in, whether they had a paper or not. So I just think it just all depends on a person's really mindset on how they looking at it.
I don't know. I feel like if you take away the paper, women are not going to want to get married. I think the leverage that comes from the paper is why women want to get married. If you told the average wife or the average woman, hey, let's go down to the church and we're going to get married with no contract, you know what she's going to say? Even though it's a marriage technically, she's going to say, oh, it's not a real marriage. But how, and also, how is getting married without a contract in the church any different than being in a relationship? So essentially you saying what I'm saying. Because think about it, if you get married in the church with no government contract and we take the government out of it, how is that any different than just being with somebody you love till you die? How is that different? It's not. But the only thing that makes it different is the paperwork, and that's what we're talking about. And most women know that they would not accept a marriage without paperwork, because what they really want is leverage. And that's another reason why so many men are not getting married, because men do not want to be in a situation where the woman has leverage over them, because the moment the woman has that leverage over him, what happens? She no longer is attracted to him anyway, because she's the one who holds the power. This is why there's so many sexless marriages. So why give them the leverage that's only going to make them less attracted to you to begin with? It doesn't make common sense.